America's largest home builder just launched a massive recession warning volley towards the US economy. DR Horton, they're reporting a massive collapse in sales, and they're cutting their 2025 revenue forecast on weak demand for homes. Now, this is a huge deal, everyone, because DR Horton is the #1 home builder in America. They deliver over 80,000 homes a year, and they're telling you that the market is weakening, and I think this is yet another signal of how home prices will drop in America in 2025.
Folks, I just stumbled upon this home building site in Tennessee and found out that almost all of these homes were purchased by an investor. And this investor is now trying to rent out these houses. They're not even finished yet. I think they're gonna be finished in the next 3 months, and the investor already has them on Zillow for $2,500 a month in rent. This is something crazy going on, everyone. And folks, look at this. You can see even more houses that were just built, and no one is living in these houses right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No cars in the driveway, not a soul here on the street. And then we go to the other side, and we have even more houses under construction. And it's a signal how Wall Street landlords are still trying to get a piece of the US housing market.
Man, there's a lot going on in the real estate, man. In the morning, we're going to talk about the DR Horton CEO has a dire warning about the real estate market, man. That's going to be something. And number 2, we're going to also talk about Wall Street is buying up entire neighborhoods, and these are empty homes. What you say, Chuck? And number 3, we're going to talk about could President Trump's cryptocurrency play open up lending in America in today's market? And number 4, you know, when all this dire news, you know what's always available? Distressed properties. We're going to talk about how to locate distressed properties in today's market, off-market deals, guys. Let's get into this thing. You see that thing, baby? Let's get it. Let's learn. And let's go.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. 40 days, God, I've been Swayze. Grew the beard out, that ain't shady. That's a bird, man, I ain't baby. Talking whole pie, that's so crazy. How I got a shot, raise the bean sprout up, put a crown up on her head so the boys seeing, no, that's a lady. If you ain't catch a double that time on the last rhyme, dog, I could help you.
What's good, baby? It's your boy Dale. I'm back in the saddle again. Our motto is to buy, build. We already bought it already, so we already own it, free and clear. Refinance to long-term debt, cash flow. That is the motto. Cliff, man, is that a pretty strong motto, man? What do you think?
Man, the model is strong. Like, you're getting each piece of the invest, right?
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of Real Estate Friday Live. Forgive me, guys, on the first one, guys. It was really grainy and the picture was really terrible. And it was because of the connection, guys. I had to shut my whole system down and cut it back on. I pride myself in getting you guys good, clear quality content because you guys are coming to your partner, man, for some wisdom. So, guys, if you could do me a favor, if you don't mind, baby, it's your partner. Let me get back to where we go. There we go. Share, like, and subscribe, guys, and get your pens and pads out for this one because this is going to be one of those ones, guys, to where in real estate and business and finance, write this stuff down. Okay, this is very important for you guys. If you don't write it down, don't get mad at me when things turn bad on you. It is what it is. But, guys, let's dive this thing with fast, guys. Man, here's our topics for the day. It's going to be, man, DR Horton CEO's warning for the market. Man, DR Horton is the largest home builder in America. Boy, his warnings were something. Number 2, Wall Street are buying up empty neighborhoods, guys. Homes, the entire neighborhood, and these homes are empty because these home builders are building homes. We're going to see what's going on behind there, right? And the plan that they actually have behind buying these homes. We're talking about Wall Street. Number 3, could crypto open up lending for real estate, guys? Woo-wee, all right? And lastly, because of this dire warnings, what's going on with the market, with it being a buyer's market, now it's not so much a seller's market, and the cost of capital is higher, man, what is running rampant, which is available, is distressed property. We're going to talk about distressed property investing, guys, how you can locate properties in your city, county, or state, guys. Yes, so let's get it in. But guys, let's dive into this real quickly, guys. DR Horton's CEO, his warning when it comes to the market, guys. This was a big warning, and it kind of opened my eyes a little bit, guys. Let's dive in this real quick, and then we're going to comment on what's going on because his warnings, guys, was something interesting to see. And then we're going to see what Wall Street is doing because of DR Horton's CEO's warning concerning the marketplace. Here we go. Let's get it in. Here we go.
America's largest home builder just launched a massive recession warning volley towards the U.S. economy. DR Horton, they're reporting a massive collapse in sales, and they're cutting their 2025 revenue forecast on weak demand for homes. Now, this is a huge deal, everyone, because DR Horton is the #1 home builder in America. They deliver over 80,000 homes a year, and they're telling you that the market is weakening. And I think this is yet another signal of how home prices will drop in America in 2025. We're going to see continued declines in values in about half the country as the year goes on. In fact, you can already see these declines occurring in the states in blue on this map from Reventure app. These are the areas where month-over-month price growth is now in contraction. And the fundamental issue here, everyone, is two principal things. Number one is that home buyers are still boycotting the housing market.
Yes,
they cannot afford homes. Prices are still really, really expensive, and mortgage rates are still near 7%. So the demand is still down. But the demand is down now while the inventory and supply is skyrocketing. And that's a combination that is now starting to resemble what we saw in 2006, 2007, right before that last housing downturn. In particular, folks, I want to walk you through what's going on with DR Horton and what they just reported, because it's a huge deal and you need to understand the data behind it. So they're saying that we had lower revenue this year. They're forecasting lower revenue in the future, but the real reason why is sales orders. Their sales order volume has plummeted over the last year by 15%. So they had 15% fewer sales orders in the first quarter of 2025.
Look, guys, look at the Southwest, right? Look at the dip. The Southwest went in minus 22.7%. Southwest. That includes Texas and Florida, guys. Look at that decline. Look at the Southeast, right? 25.8%. Good God. Northwest minus 14%. East and North minus 4.5, minus 0.1. Interesting how the North, it depends on what North is. Well, wait a minute. The North, man, in other words, guys, they're not selling any homes. This is the largest home builder in America. All right, let's keep it going. Here we go.
Compared to the first quarter of 2024. But this was especially true in two regions, the Southeast and the Southwest, where sales declined by 20 to 25% year over year. And a 20 to 25% decline in sales is huge. That is absolutely massive and is telling you that there's something going on in this market. And I know a lot of people out there are still resistant to the idea that there's a housing downturn. You know, I talk to people here in Florida. I look at people in the comments section on YouTube and Instagram, and a lot of people still say, hey, Nick, there's no housing downturn. Prices are still expensive. And they think that values are going to keep going up in the future. But the more that we see these reports from companies like DR Horton, and the more that we see the data come in showing declining values, the more you can feel confident as a home buyer and investor that things are going to continue to get cheaper and more affordable for you.
Let's talk about, he just said cheaper and more affordable. Let's talk about what's really going on behind this whole thing. It's about the interest rate for mortgages. If you guys understand, President Trump and Chairman Powell of the Federal Reserve, they're at odds over the cutting of rates, right? President Trump wants the rates to come down, and Fed Chairman Powell does not want to cut the rates at all because he's not confident in the market right now. Now, I agree with the Fed chairman right now because of the fact that in the last 5 years, that is Trump's last year in office and Biden's 4 years, 40% of all the currency printed has been printed in the last 5 years by two presidents. 40%. Right. And what the Fed chairman is saying is he's saying, yo, there's a lot of fake money in the system right now. There's a lot of fake money what's going on. And so he said, we got to get that burnt out. So they're at odds concerning the mortgage rates. And I agree with the Federal Reserve Chairman Powell on this. Let's keep it going.
The year goes on. And I just want to spend some time on this map, which measures home price declines month over month from February to March. So this is data from Zillow, available on Reventure app, which shows the seasonally adjusted change in values from February to March 2025. And if your state's in blue, that means values dropped.
Yes.
And what's alarming here, everyone, is that values dropped in about half the states in the US. In total, it was 24 states where values declined. You could see Colorado had the biggest monthly decline. I've been ringing the alarm bell on Colorado now for the last month or two. We're now starting to see the values drop. Interestingly, California had the second largest decline month over month. Then we had Florida at number 3. So Colorado, California, and Florida, these are 3 markets where prices dropped the most monthly, 0.44%, which annualizes to about minus 5% over a full year. In addition, values dropped in DC, Arizona, Georgia, Vermont, Washington, Oregon, and Texas as far as the biggest declines. And then we also saw declines in a lot of other Sunbelt and mountain markets. And those value declines measure values across the entire market. So that's new builds and resales. Values are dropping in half of the country.
Again, guys, this is due to mortgage rates, and people manufactured a pay raise by borrowing more credit card debt. So they added a liability to their balance sheet. So therefore, with another liability on their balance sheet, their monthly expenses has gone up, right? Not down. Therefore, it's affecting their debt to income ratio or DTI ratio. So when they go and apply for a mortgage, they can't qualify for a certain price point of a property because of the additional debt that's in their home balance sheet. Right. That's what's really going on here. Right. That's what's going on here. It's not hard to understand. So I understand the DR Horton CEO's market warning. It makes some sense. But whenever there's an issue like this, I see opportunity. Now watch this. Guess who else saw the opportunity, guys? Who else saw the opportunity? Who did, guys? Let's look at this real fast. Who else saw that there was an opportunity that you may not see right now? Wall Street did. Wall Street saw an opportunity, right? Most people are panicking. They saw an opportunity. They're buying on the dip, and they're buying up empty neighborhoods. Why are they empty? These are new construction homes being built by builders here in DR Horton. And what's happening is because they can't sell these properties, guess who's to retail buyers, guess who's coming in and buying them in bulk, right? Wall Street. They did the exact same thing in 08, 9, 10, 11. I know because I saw them do it, because that's why I bought a lot of properties in Dallas-Fort Worth, is during that time frame. So this they're just repeating what they did in 2008. The reason why is they got a lot of money stagnated right now. So the money has to go somewhere. So what do? They use your retirement money to go out and actually buy more real estate. And they buy real estate bad. The price points that they're buying them out are terrible. But I give you the play in a second of why they're using your retirement money to buy this. Because they're going to double back and buying back for themselves. Ooh, I said it with my chest. I did. Let's bring this in real quickly, guys, and see what is Wall Street doing, how they doing this, why they doing this as well. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? I don't know. Are you complaining about it or not? If you're complaining about it, that the problem is you, not Wall Street. Let's dive into this thing, guys, and see what's going on. And you're going to see he's in a state that you know about that people were flocking to during COVID. Watch this, guy. Let's we can bring our powder back in real fast. Same company, Reventure app. See what's going on. Here we go.
Folks, I just stumbled upon this home building site in Tennessee and found out that almost all of these homes were purchased by an investor.
What you say?
And this investor is now trying to rent out these houses. They're not even finished yet. I think they're going to be finished in the next 3 months. And the investor already has them on Zillow for $2,500 a month in rent.
Leasing them out? Okay.
This is something crazy going on, everyone. And folks, look at this. You can see even more houses that were just built.
Yeah, just built.
And no one is living in these houses right now.
Nobody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
No cars in the driveway, not a soul here on the street.
What up, Steve?
And then we go to the other side, and we have even more houses under construction. And it's a signal how Wall Street landlords are still trying to get a piece of the U.S. housing market.
Stop right there. He said Wall Street landlords, not buyers, landlords. Now they're acquiring the property, but they are acquiring new construction homes and then leasing them out. Why? Because they have money they have to spend. They have to put money to work. So they're buying these entire subdivisions with these empty homes in bulk and then leasing the properties out, making a rate of return. Most retail buyers were retreating. These Wall Street investors are running to it, right? Now, don't get it twisted. They are buying bad. I'll tell you in a second. Here we go.
The company that owns these homes is called Pathway, and they do something called rent to own. And this rent to own model is something that you got to watch out for because it's a signal that the housing market is in a big bubble. And what they're trying to do is get you to sign a 3-year lease for this house behind me. And then at the end of 3 years, they're going to give you the opportunity to buy it, which is kind of funny because these investors buying these homes today took away your opportunity to buy it. So they're buying it today.
So here's what he's saying. Again, this is a brilliant plan by Wall Street. I said it. It's a brilliant plan by Wall Street. What are they doing? Since you can't buy it and the builders need to build in phases, they're having Wall Street come in and buy in bulk, which allows for the builders to continue to build homes, to offload already built homes off their balance sheet so they can do phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, because you build new construction within phases, right? So now what's happening is the builder's building new homes. Wall Street comes in and buys the entire subdivision. Now watch this. They're not buying on a discount. They're buying it most likely at retail or most likely above retail price points. They are, or maybe a slight discount, maybe 1-2%, mostly 5%, because they're doing it at a buying at bulk. I doubt that though. Wall Street normally doesn't buy bulk new constructions at a discount. They don't. What they're doing is that they're doing a lease to own or rent to own scenario, which I agree with that plan. I agree with a rent to own scenario. And they're copying a model by one of the other Wall Street companies, Home Partners of America. If you know who they are, they've been doing this rent to own scenario for a long period of time, and they have been killing the game. So now you have other Wall Street companies, investors, putting your retirement money at work, right? Going out and buying entire subdivisions at retail or above retail, and then place them to lease right online. That's all they're doing. That is it. I do the exact same thing when I buy subdivisions myself. It is a phenomenal business model. Now watch this though. They are buying bad because they're buying at retail or above. Horrible plan, but why would they do that for? It's simple. It ain't their money. It's your money. It's your retirement money. It's your pension money. It's your 401k money. It's your IRA money. It's your Roth IRA, your 403b money, your TSP money. It's your retirement money that they're using, not theirs, your money. So they're buying at retail or above retail. Now, what would happen if the market corrects? Because what governs the residential market? The commercial real estate market is what governs this. What do you mean, Liddell? Well, the commercial paper, that finances out of apartment complexes, warehouses, and office buildings. Let's focus on the apartment complexes. Back in 2020, guys, owners of apartment complexes either bought apartment complexes or refinanced existing mortgages into a new mortgage, interest only or IO, right, with a 5-year balloon, whether the property was in good condition or bad condition, whether it's an A, B, C, or D class property, right? Now, that 5-year balloon, 2025 minus 2020, is 5 years. That 5 years is coming up due right now. And get this, a lot of the apartment complexes, because they're not fully leased out, they're losing a lot of money. See, cities like Memphis, Tennessee, man, Jackson, Mississippi, Dallas, Austin, Texas, H-Town, Houston, Texas, Florida, Miami, Florida. They're getting destroyed right now when it comes to those lease payments. Interesting. So therefore, if tenants are not paying their lease payments, who can't make their mortgage payments? The damn landlord. What you say, Chuck? Yeah. That correction, which is coming, right? It's going to affect another market, which is the residential retail market. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now, what is Wall Street going to do? Man, because, they bought wrong. They bought at retail, right? Or above retail. What they going to do, y'all? I got the answer for you. They bought at retail or above retail with your retirement money. Just so happens that the market corrects. Oh my God! People people are not going to be able to make those lease payments. What you say, Chuck? What's happening is this going to what? Foreclose or do a short sale? Who gonna come in and buy those properties from the Wall Street companies? The Wall Street company, sister company. It's going to be with Wall Street's literal money, not your retirement. Ain't that something? So who lost? You did with your retirement. Who won? Wall Street did with their sister company. How do they going to do this, Liddell? They did in 2008-9. Doing the same thing they're doing right now. There's nothing new under the sun. Watch. Just you watch. Watch. Pay close attention to the commercial paper, because that directly affects the residential paper. And just remember, they bought these entire subdivisions, these empty homes, and leased them out, guys, with your retirement money. I pray it didn't happen. I pray it don't, but it just may happen again. Let's go back to the video. Here we go.
Making you rent for 3 years and then saying, oh, maybe you can afford it 3 years from now. This is really interesting to me because these Wall Street investors are confusing. Their overall purchases on the housing market have actually collapsed down by about 50 or 60%, yet I keep seeing them pop up in home building sites. I'm actually in Tennessee right now on a road trip here, and I keep seeing these investors buying from the builders. And what I think is going on is that the builders are having trouble selling these homes at the sky-high price. The builder inventory is way up, and normal people can't afford the houses. So who does the builder then sell to so they can keep making money and keep building?
Making money.
They sell to the investor. I don't think a lot of people realize just how many homes are under construction in America right now.
No, get what he said. He said, so the builders can continue to make money. Builders don't make money when they sell properties at a discount. Reason, logic, okay? So if the builders are making money, what is Wall Street buying the properties at? Retail or above retail. Let's keep going, guys. We almost done, guys. Don't you worry about it.
The new home builder report just came out from the Census Bureau showing 500,000 active homes for sale from builders.
Wow.
That's literally the second highest level of builder inventory ever. The only other time we had this many homes for sale from builders was a 2-year period from 06 to 08. So understand this, everyone. The housing market is in a big bubble.
Didn't I say this happened before, y'all? In what years? 08 and 09. What you say, Dale? Yes, sir. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. I'm trying to told y'all. I'm trying to told y'all what's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Okay? Because of the commercial paper. We almost done, y'all. Don't you worry about it. I got you, though. And I got a solution for you.
Down here in the southern states in the U.S., in Tennessee, in Georgia, in Florida, in Texas, we are in a big housing bubble right now, and I'm showing you the inventory with your own eyes. And the builders and the investors are having to get more creative and more desperate in order to keep the bubble going, in order to keep the
money coming,
keep the prices from dropping.
Hold on,
but I just wonder how.
What did he say? Prices from dropping. What did he say? What did he say? I'm trying to told y'all. They not buying these properties on no discount. They buy them at retail or above retail. Because why? Both the home builders as well as the Wall Street are in cahoots. And it just so happens a lot of the home builders are on Wall Street. What you say, Dale? I said it. A lot of investors that give them money are what? Wall Street. What you said? Yes, sir. They this thing together. This is orchestrated, guys. They this thing together. They're not stupid. They're not dumb. They know what they're doing. Don't you worry. Yo, Biden, I got you. We almost done. I got you. Don't worry about it.
How long can they keep this up? Because when I look at the data is becoming irrefutable that we are in a housing downturn.
Yes, we are.
Here in the South specifically. Inventory, homes for sale is way up. Price cuts are way up. Values are starting to drop, but they're not dropping by enough. If you look at the homes that are actually for sale in this community and weren't sold to the investor, they're around $450,000 for a 3-bed, 1,800 square foot home. I actually toured one of these houses and they are decent. They're okay, but they're probably around $75,000 overpriced to what I think they should be based on people's incomes.
Hold on. He said overpriced. What did he say? He say overpriced, not underpriced, not discount. He said overpriced. Didn't I told you? I told you these Wall Street bammers, they are not gonna buy these properties at no discount. Cause why? It ain't their money. It's your money. I'm just giving you 1,000 with you, baby. It's your money. It's the same play no way. Use your money to buy the properties overpriced or at retail, and then the market's going to shift to where it's going to be a quick downturn down. Then the properties they're going to owe more on the properties than is value of that because they bought it at wrong. Right, bought it at the wrong price point. What happens is they then short sell it to themselves or it's just the company, and they buy it with their money. And who's left holding the bag? You. But the builders came out, they're doing well. Wall Street's doing well. Who's left holding the bag? The retiree. Let's keep 1,000 with y'all. We're literally listening to this live, and everything that I'm saying, he's saying after me. I told y'all this is the same thing they did in 2008. 9-10. Same thing. The same play. Same play, guys. Man. All right, guys. I know this is a lot. This is some bad news. But but the thing about it, it's not bad. Yo, it's not bad news. It's not bad at all. I got some good news for y'all. Some good news. Now, all right, let's get into some solutions. All right, y'all. Now let's get into strategy. Strategy. Remember, I talk about strategy, capital, and impact, right? Let's get into strategy now, guys. Now watch this. Boom. How crypto, what you say, Dale, could open up lending. What? Yeah. How crypto could open up lending. Y'all, President Trump did something that was interesting. It kind of challenged my thinking, but it was pretty cool. But I had some good advisors around me that I could run it by. And they said how I was thinking was actually correct. Watch this, guys. Man, I'm trying to explain this to you guys as simple as I can. And like again, you actually have President Trump and Fed Chairman Powell, they're at odds when it comes to the mortgage rates, right? So you have the Federal Reserve Bank and the executive branch not seeing eye to eye, which is not uncommon at all. Well, how is money created on the monetary side, right? Well, it's simple. The Federal Reserve, what they do, it's simple, is they create what is called debt or a security, called an IOU or it as a bond. They create an instrument called a bond, and they take that bond and they go over to the Treasury and get the Treasury to write a check for this bond, right? Then what happens is when they write a check, the Federal Reserve takes it back over to them, boom, and presto, money is created via debt. That's why we have deficit spending, right? That money is flowed through the banking system. And the banks then use that cash that they get from the Federal Reserve to fractionally lend to you and I. So that we buy houses, cars, credit cards, things of that nature. That's what they do. Very simple to understand, guys. Now, Trump, because he's at odds with the Federal Reserve Chairman, he's saying lower the rates, lower the rates, and they're saying no. The Fed Chairman says no. Now, what is Trump's counter move? Well, look at the screen. It says how crypto could be his counter move. Now, you have the U.S. Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, right, and the U.S. Secretary of Treasury, which is Scott Bessent. These are cryptocurrency gurus, godfathers. These are masters of this thing, right? Now, what did they do? Well, Trump actually had a digital asset summit a couple of weeks ago, probably about 3-4 weeks ago. And this is on TV, right? Go look it up, right? And what Trump did is the U.S. government seized Bitcoin from criminals, right? And they sold half, I think it was like 500 million. They sold half of the Bitcoin off and kept the other half. Trump says we're not going to sell any more of crypto. We're going to keep that crypto. But he created two reserves, a trust for Bitcoin and a reserve for cryptocurrency. Notice the two, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Now, why is that so important? Well, if you look at cryptocurrency on a global stage, out of all the cryptocurrencies in the world, 95% of all the transactions are completed via the US dollar. 95%. That is huge, which means the US dollar has a stranglehold on the cryptocurrency whole environment, right? Typically, the federal government and cryptocurrencies have been at odds because cryptocurrency is decentralized and governments don't like decentralization. They like centralization power. They like. Well, Trump and his squad has said, you know what, we're going to partner or we're going to bless cryptocurrency. Now we like it. What happens? They create two reserves, a trust, right, for Bitcoin and a reserve for cryptocurrencies, right? Now get this, that smells just like the Federal Reserve Bank who created an IOU. The IOU is on the Federal Reserve side. Cryptocurrency is on the cryptocurrency side. Bitcoin as well also. Both on the crypto side, that's flowing through the bank system right now. How do we know that? We're going to see in a second. Banks have created their own cryptocurrencies. Their own coins. And they partnered with the government with this. So just like the banks have partnered with them on the monetary side when it comes to dollars, they've done the exact same thing on the cryptocurrency side. Trump's whole play is to expand the money supply without expanding the money supply. In other words, he wants to expand the money supply without printing any money. Ooh-wee, with cryptocurrency. Yes, he does. Now, we're going to find out, will this actually make any sense? Don't worry. Let's go and bring our partner in, Mark Moss. He's one of the greatest I've ever seen at this. This is his space. This is what he invests in. This is Mark's space. So let's bring Mark in. He's going to break it all down for us, guys. And we're going to see if this will work. Because if this works, guys, this could be a solution for the retail side, right? Let's dive into this. Here we go.
Treasury Secretary Bessent made it clear this order directs agencies to rework banking and tax rules to favor stablecoins.
Wow.
So one, the Treasury is going to amend and resend all previous guidance that hinders digital asset markets. Number two, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency shall create a framework for stablecoin integration into national banks.
What you say? Huh? What you say, Dale? Yes, sir. This is happening right now. It's already happened already. It's done. It's done. So now you're seeing the government essentially bless cryptocurrency. Let's keep it going, y'all. It's gonna get gooder. It's gonna get gooder.
So that means two massive things. First, it tells us Trump isn't just talking. His team is rewriting the rules like literally in real time as we speak.
Yes.
Second, this all but confirms that banks are about to get the green light to start issuing their own stablecoins.
What?
Meanwhile, Congress is already working on the legal framework to make this official. In early 2025,
And Congress is involved? Uh-oh. So this is not just an executive branch theory. Congress is involved in this entire thing. What you say, Dale? We not done. Let's get it again.
lawmakers introduced two major bills. There was one called the Stable Act and another one called the Genius Act. Now, both of these bills designed to create a federal framework for stablecoins. So the Stable Act, which was in the House, it requires stablecoin issuers to maintain a one-to-one reserves in U.S. Treasuries or cash deposits.
What that means, guys, is the dollar's back in the cryptocurrency. This is in the House right now.
Number two, the Genius Act, through the Senate, it grants national banks and financial institutions the authority to issue and settle stablecoins under the OCC oversight.
So we have the Senate and the House working on this thing together, baby. This is getting gooder and gooder.
Now, here's the kicker. Trump isn't waiting around for these things, right? He's pushing Congress to get a stablecoin bill on his desk by August. Trump said himself, quote, "We want digital dollars issued by American banks, not foreign companies, and not radical bureaucrats. Congress needs to get this done," end quote. Now, to make this work, the administration needs federal agencies to stop fighting crypto and start working with it. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening. The OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, just approved national banks to start issuing their own stablecoins. The IRS, of course, the Internal Revenue Service, they ordered to start rolling back restrictive crypto tax rules to encourage adoption. Vacant even said the Treasury will resend and amend all previous guidance that hurt the digital asset markets. So think about that. Just a few years ago, regulators were cracking down on crypto at every single opportunity.
Yes, they were.
Now they're resending. Now they're rewriting the rules to make stablecoins and digital assets the foundation of the financial system. And this isn't just talk. Major banks are already preparing for what's coming. JP Morgan already launched JPM Coin. It's a tokenized dollar for institutional use. And guess what? It's backed one-to-one by cash reserves, just like the new stablecoin rules would require. Wells Fargo CEO just said they're exploring tokenized deposits, which, let's be honest, is just another way of saying stablecoins. And let's not forget Circle's USDC stablecoin, which is already being integrated into major payment networks, including Visa.
Yeah.
So we can see it. It's happening. The banks know what's coming. And now they're all getting into position. And now this leads us to the biggest question.
Here we go.
If banks are about to start issuing their own digital dollars, could we be witnessing the return of free banking?
What?
Because the last times banks had this much control over issuing money, it led to one of the most explosive periods of financial competition in U.S. history. We might be about to see it happen all over again. Now, for those of you that aren't history buffs like I am, you might be asking, what am I talking about? Well, this whole idea of banks issuing their own money, their own currency, it's not new. The U.S. already tried this before during the free banking era from 1837 to 1863. Now, back then, any bank could issue its own currency. You didn't have to have U.S. dollars. You had hundreds of different banknotes circulating, issued by different financial institutions. And here's the key part. Back then, banks had to compete. If a bank issued weak money, people didn't trust it. If they issued strong money, their currency became widely accepted. And this forced banks to actually earn trust. They had to back their money with gold, silver, strong financial reserves, or people just wouldn't use it. They'd go to a competitor's bank instead. And because of this competition, banking services and financial innovation skyrocketed.
Innovation.
Now, if we fast forward that to today, guess what? We might be entering free banking 2.0. Except this time, it all happens on blockchains. Now imagine walking into a store and having the option to pay with a JPM coin or a Wells Fargo dollar or a Goldman Sachs stablecoin, just like in the 1800s. Now back then, banks would have had to compete for your trust.
Yes, they would.
The ones offering the most stable, the most secure, the most widely accepted digital money would dominate the market. Scott Bessent said it. He said, quote, "The stablecoin framework will ensure financial institutions can offer dollar-backed digital assets in a regulated, secure manner." Now that means that banks could soon be competing to issue the best digital dollars. This could change everything.
What could it change?
So what happens if banks are allowed to compete again?
What happens?
Well, here's what it could mean for you. better banking services because banks would have to offer lower fees, higher interest, faster transactions just to stay competitive.
Yeah.
Stronger and more secure money because stablecoins would have clear regulations, real asset backing, unlike offshore unregulated stablecoins we see today. Instant global payments. Your money could move anywhere in the world instantly without relying on antiquated SWIFT systems or outdated banking networks. More financial freedom. Instead of being forced into one monetary system, you'd have real choices over where to store your wealth. In short, this could be the biggest transformation in banking since the internet.
Correct.
And so now that we know what's happening, where does this lead us? Like, what's the big picture here? Well, the answer is simple. Like, this could be the biggest transformation of the U.S. financial system and of the U.S. dollar in history. And when everybody thinks the US dollar is dying, it could be cementing its position as the dominant global leader for decades. Now, like I said, the dollar's dominance has been under attack from inflation, from global de-dollarization, from countries like China and Russia pushing their own currencies. But now with stablecoins officially backed by US banks, the dollar could actually come out stronger than ever. Why?
Well, hold on one second. He said, why is the strength of the dollar? Here we go.
Why would that even strengthen the U.S. dollar?
Listen to this,
you might ask. Well, more global demand for dollars.
Yes.
We have this situation where people all around the world with failing currencies, think Lebanon, Turkey, Argentina, Venezuela, Peru, they all want U.S. dollars, but they can't get them. And the government wants them to have U.S. dollars.
They do.
And so U.S. stablecoins is a way to do that. Now, right now, over $200 billion in stablecoins are already circulating worldwide. Almost all of them are pegged to the U.S. dollar.
What?
And that number is expected to grow at least 10x, maybe even 100x as stablecoins go mainstream.
What you say?
And then banks start competing to offer the best digital dollars.
What you say?
Instead of a single outdated financial system, we could see banks competing for better, faster, and more services. Now, of course, anytime we have competition, we get better products, better services, better prices. And this isn't just about stablecoins. Banks are now able to hold digital assets, think Bitcoin. Now, imagine a future where sending money internationally happens instantly.
So guys, he goes into a little more depth. If you don't know who Mark Moss is, follow him. He gives phenomenal content. I love what he talked about, guys. Banks competing for business. They are competing for business. That's what they are doing, guys. That is crazy. Crazy awesome. So if a bank is competing for business, they have to put out better products and services. Give out better loans, better rates, better terms. Who's that help out? You and me and businesses and the bank. Because the bank can now use the reserve of monetary dollars and the reserve of their digital assets to leverage against and give out more loans, therefore catapulting this economy into the stratosphere, coupled with the cutting of taxes, the removal of the income tax potentially, as well as the lowering of the corporate tax. Guys, if all this happens, you're talking about an economic boom. It's ridiculous. So this whole tariff play, this whole thing that Trump is doing, it's really not right about tariffs. It's about the monetary system. He wants to reset the entire system. And if he does, could crypto open up lending? Hell yes. Not just in real estate, but in other areas as well. This type of play can also reset the real estate market to where you may not qualify for a loan, right? Because of stringent lending criteria. But when more money is opened up through this monetary play, the bank gets a little bit more friendlier with their criteria because they have the U.S. government backing their bet. Do you see how this could actually open up lending? Now, with that being stated, guys, let's go to the last topic with us and then we'll be done. Distressed property investing. Whenever there is a downtick in the economy, whenever there is an issue within the economy, right, when it comes to real estate, and you see a lot of the masses running from, you should be running to. More than ever right now, guys, you can find what I call off-the-market distressed properties. You have the Wall Street buying on the market properties, i.e., buying new construction properties at the price point or above the price point, right? Because they're in cahoots with the home builders. That leaves an entire segment of the market open. Off market distressed properties. What are distressed properties? People that are behind on their payments. Property's been on the market for a long period of time, probably 90 plus days, right? That's detailed on MLS. Vacant properties, right? Code violation properties, right? Out of state owners for said properties. See what I'm saying? Even people that actually want to downsize, but they can't sell it. These properties may not be on the market right now, but I'm not focused on properties on the market unless it's in a city that I can buy so cheap. I'll buy, and I've done that in Jackson, Mississippi. I buy property on MLS all day long, Jackson, Mississippi, and also Memphis all day long, because I can, because the price point makes sense. But the secret sauce to acquiring properties in major metropolitan areas is you got to learn how to locate distressed properties. Because once you do that, the world opens up. We're talking about new construction projects, apartment complexes, single-family residences, even office buildings, and also warehousing. It opens everything wide open, guys. If you know how to locate distressed properties. I can tell you right now, man, we're locating so many distressed properties, a ton of them. And you notice how I have Wall Street on this as well. If you learn how to locate distressed properties, you can invest like Wall Street. What do you mean, Liddell? Use other people's money to acquire the property, complete your project, refinance the long-term debt with somebody else's money, and now you generate an infinite rate of return. But you made your money when you actually acquired, not when you sold. What'd you say? And you never sold. You keep it on your balance sheet. You do the same play that Wall Street is doing. Same play. And you have 25% equity of the property. So if there's a downtick in the economy, you have a 25% cushion there. Do you see how you can acquire right? I give you an example, guys. I bought a property in, I'm going to use one in Texas that I bought, right? I bought the property for $84,000. Actually, no, I did not. I bought it for cheaper than that. My bad. I actually bought it for $65,000, right? The as-is value was $113,000. So $65,000, right? Times divided by 113. I bought it at 57. You know what? I'm gonna show you the numbers on the screen. I got you. Let me show you numbers on the screen because I don't want you saying, "Yo, you lying." Let me show you numbers on the screen, baby. I got you, big dog. Don't you worry about your partner. Got you. Let me get you. I'm gonna share it to you real fast. Give me a second here. Replace window. Boom. There it is. All right. Can y'all see this? What happened? There we go. All right, you guys can see it. Gotcha. Here we go. All right, here we go. Now, I bought the property for $65,000 purchase price. That was my purchase price. All right, boom. Divided by the as-is value is $113,000. That was the appraised as-is value when I actually acquired the property. That means that times 100. Right, there we go. That means I bought the property at 57.52% on the dollar. 57 cents on the dollar. Not bad, is it? At all. Now, watch this now. 65,000, right? I'm putting 40,000 into it. 40,000. That means my all in, guys, is $105,000. I'm all in there. All in there, right? The after repair value, after I what happened to my what happened, y'all? It is vanished on your partner. 1 second, y'all. Stop sharing. And we're gonna share again. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. It just stopped sharing. Don't you worry, I got you. I'm gonna get you guys. All right, here we go. Boom. And there we go. All right, here we go. So I'm all in at 105. Right? Now remember, The after repair value means after I had completed the renovations. The new value is up $169,500. Says the appraisal itself, right? Now, I know I can get 75% of that refinance, right? So now I have 25% equity in the deal, equity that's there for a cushion for me. So my new loan amount of the refinance is $127,125. Remember, I owe 105. So minus 105, 105,000, right? Here we go. That leaves $22,125. This is my profit, non-taxed, because it's new debt. I used new debt to pay off old debt. So that money I took to the house, Uncle Sam gets none of that money. It's all your partners. Now you might say, Dale, well, how are you going to service the debt? I'm glad you asked. Remember, the new loan amount is $127,125, right? Typically, you get about 1%, 1 to 1.25% of ratio in lease payments. Because why? We have a debt we have to cover. Now, right, I made $22,000 in profit. So 127, 125 times, I'm going to say 1%. 1%. That means my monthly rental payment is $1,271.25. Not bad, is it? It's not bad. That's my take home. Now, most likely my debt service is gonna be around like $800, all in $800. You know what I'm saying? So $1,271 my $800. Real quickly here, that's $471.25 in profit. Monthly cash flow. So I made $22,000 in profit, right? Non-taxable. And now I'm making $471 a month in positive cash flow. And someone else is paying down my new mortgage. And I have everything insured, from the property to the plumbing, to the electrical, to the HVAC, to the condensers. Even my rents is insured. So if someone doesn't make their lease payment, I simply evict them out with my property manager, who manages it for me. And I file a claim with my insurance company, and they pay my lease payment for me. What you say, that? Yes. I insure everything of the house. You can insure almost anything on this planet. So I insure my rents. Make sense? Make sense, guys? But that is how you can benefit from the distressed properties. Invest like Wall Street. Make sense, guys? Well, guys, man, that being stated, guys, real quickly here, I'm always asked, guys, like I always say, when it comes to real estate, not the way, when it comes to real estate, guys, and of course, hold on one second. What is going on here with my computer today? My computer is really, guys, getting on my last nerve today. It is not wanting to act right with me today. So stop sharing. Boom. There we go. Gotcha. Now, guys, real quickly, this is the reason why Cliff and I give away this distressed property ebook to be giveaway. It is free. Didn't cost you a dime at all. Our whole thing is this here. We want to be able to give you guys, let me get that way, give you guys a leg up in real estate investing by giving you the game for free on how you can locate distressed properties in your city, county, or state. For free. Right there, scan it on the QR code right here on the screen. On the show notes, click on the link, go right to it, and download the ebook. It is free. Didn't cost you a dime. Right? Didn't cost you a dime at all. Also, if you're not able to scan on the QR code, don't worry, your partner got you. Right here, you see in the corner, it says real estate, guys. Direct message me the word real estate, and my team will get you over that link so you can actually download the free ebook. It's free. Didn't cost you a dime at all. Our philosophy is we can teach you how to locate a distressed property, vet the deal, and structure the right way, right? You can close as many as you want. If the deal makes sense and you need help, I even lend you the money to buy it. Because you make money in real estate when you acquire, not when you sell. Makes sense, guys? Not hard. Well, guys, that's all I have for today, guys. That's all I have for today. Every single Thursday, guys, at 8:30 p.m., your partner has something called the Countermove Podcast, guys, to where we actually lean in and reason together. We take an issue, whether it be political, social, things of that nature, and we unpack it together, and we reason together and prescribe the right solution into that thing, guys. Here's a little bit of a peek of what we talk about. Here we go.
Why they party? I'm in here grinding. Money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them. Ain't my chick coming. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
Guys, that's the Countermove Podcast every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. CST. Come kick it with your partner. We dive into a topic, guys. Yesterday's topic was pretty good. We talked about judicial tyranny, crypto, and other things as well also. But it was pretty good. Go back and watch it. Give me your thoughts. Comment below, guys. But guys, that's all I have for today, guys. You know I hand it every single time, guys. Before you leave, while you can, baby, you see that thing. That picture for your mama and them. Holla at your partner. God bless you guys. See you next time, guys. All right, y'all. Holla at your partner. Peace.
Okay, so you did fixes and flips first, or were they? Now it sounds like you're more buy and hold. Okay, so you were wholesaling first. Okay,
because I was broke. I had no credit. I had no money. So I had to get some money coming in. So I learned how to do wholesale.
And you were doing wholesaling at the good time too.
2000.
When it wasn't so saturated. There was.
I kind of saw the debacle coming. Okay, it didn't make any sense. I was like, wait a minute, how can you lend out to retail buyers 99.7%?
Yeah,
just a little bit of a down tick. It's insolvent.
And you got to remember, in some states, because I lived in Florida at the time, you could have loan to value above 100% of your property. Right. The first property that I bought, it was 110%. We left the bank with like $30,000.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It was amazing to me. I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? But then clearly 0809 let me know why people shouldn't have been doing that all the time.
0809, that's why I made that lion's share of my money.
Wow. Okay.
Actually running from the cows, I was running to it.
Of course.
Because I saw it was coming.
Okay.
A lot of my business colleagues back then were buying flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was wise for me to share 50% of my profit with Uncle Sam. He didn't do no work.
Okay.
So why would I give him free money?
Of course.
Okay, how can I make sure I'm still legal, but keep the lion's share of the cash flow?
Of course.
So I began studying the tax code with my accountants and CPAs, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy and hold a lot of properties. Now watch this. I actually buy a lot of properties. I take home money when I actually acquire it. Every single time.
Okay, you need to break that down just a little bit.
If you wanted to know how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below or swipe up and download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed, holla at your partner, and download the ebook today.
Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Bless God, give thanks. Big God.